You are now in tune with
Mamba Radio.
Alright, what up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into Brown Mamba Radio. For those out there who don't know, my name is Jackson, and happy Monday to all you guys out there, and happy Rusev Day to everybody as well. Hopefully you all enjoyed your weekend. I know I did. Hopefully you guys all had a safe, responsible Cinco de Mayo. So let's take a look back at what happened this weekend from the world of sports, mainly. Most obviously, first and foremost, NBA playoffs still underway, and we got two games tonight after a pretty eventful weekend, I would say, for the playoffs. Two potential series closeout games in the East tonight, and both for potential sweeps, which, one is definitely more surprising than the other. Starting with the less surprising one, Cavs and Raptors is pretty much over now, right? I mean, we all had the same kind of questions. Can the Raptors get over the hump? Does LeBron have enough left in the tank for the series? Whatever. Everyone had the same kind of questions. And looks like we all kind of knew, even though we had all these similar questions, that were a little bit more, let's just say, optimistic for the Raptors. I think we all kind of subconsciously knew that this is kind of the way it was going to go. The Cavs have a commanding 3-0 lead, thanks to, largely in part to LeBron, and especially in Game 3, he hit another game winner. Another game winner. I think that makes him the first player in history to have two game winners in the same playoffs or something like that. So just LeBron adding to the legacy. And I know I tweeted this and stuff like that, but I mean, that game winner was LeBron. Just so you guys understand how LeBron made it look easy, but that shot is not easy. He made like an 18-foot floater drifting to his left, using his right hand, and then banked it in, all while going full speed in transition off the inbound. Like, come on. Like, I know this isn't rocket science here, but to test how difficult a shot really is, just go grab a basketball or any kind of ball and go to your local park, go to your local gym, whatever, and just practice those shots. Just try it and see if you can do it in one try. It's ridiculous. It was easily the ugliest and most beautiful game winner I think I've ever seen, because that is an ugly shot, but he made it look so good, and he made it look so easy, and as only LeBron can. But yeah, LeBron just freaking killing it, man. But it's not all LeBron in this case. He's getting a little bit more help from Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson, J.R. Smith, Kyle Korver. Those guys are stepping up a little bit more, and like helping him out. Let me see, I got the stats in front of me. It's just, LeBron obviously finished with 38 points. Kevin Love stepped up big. Huge game for Kevin Love in this one. 21 points, 16 rebounds. Kyle Korver, like I mentioned, 18 points. I believe they were all three-pointers. If you look at this, like I said, look at the stat sheet. Tristan Thompson has nothing. He had 0 points, 0 assists, and only 3 boards. Got in a little foul trouble, but I mean, he sets hard screens and all that stuff. He's doing his job. Now, whether or not he deserved to be paid as much as he's getting paid for doing that, listen, that's another topic for another day. Just like I said, it's not just LeBron at this point. It's mainly LeBron, but not all LeBron at this point. It's just it's not looking good for the Raptors. They're playing as hard as they can. They really are. They're doing their best. Jonas Valanciunas is playing well. Kyle Lowry was really good, especially in this game. DeMar in this game specifically had a little off shooting night, but he's been playing well. It's just they just don't have anybody that can stop LeBron. Honestly, they really don't. and they just, I mean, that's it. That's just basically it. There's no one. They're trying to put Siakam on him. He's not doing anything. They try to put Van Fleet on him. He can't do anything. They try to pull CJ Miles off the bench to do something. He can't really do anything. It's tough. It's tough, man. It's easier said than done to stop LeBron, obviously. Yeah, it's just like I said, it's not looking good. And if tonight it happens to be, the game, the Cavs finish the series and sweep the Raptors, I think again, the big question is, what do they do going forward? They've essentially ran it back for like the last 3 years. It's hard to justify running it back again if they lose again. So there's rumors that Dwayne Casey might get fired, which is, Dwayne Casey is not the problem. Trust me, Dwayne Casey is not the problem. So Raptors, please do not do that. And like I said, we just get a lot of questions, a lot of questions on what they should do going forward. But they're going back to Cleveland tonight, I believe. Let me double check that. Yes, they are back in Cleveland tonight. So like I said, it's looking pretty grim for the Raptors. But hey, I mean, crazier things have happened. But also in the East, the more surprising 3-0 lead from the Boston Celtics. And man, who saw this coming? I guarantee you, people thought maybe the Celtics would get one, maybe the Celtics would get two, but no one saw them getting all three of these games. But the Celtics are up 3-0, playing nearly flawless basketball, and just as not as surprising, isn't it? Is overall, because of how well that they've played before this, but man, just I guess it's a little surprising at just how well the young guys are playing, and not just playing, but just leading this team as well. You know what I mean? They're really, really stepping up their game. The young guys, Jason Tatum, Terry Rozier, Jaylen Brown. These guys are just stepped up, played super, super well. I mean, Jason Tatum, another 20-point game, 24 points in this one. Terry Rozier, 18 points. Jaylen Brown, 16 points, and was with 9 rebounds. Terry Rozier, 7 rebounds. The guys are just playing their asses off. They're playing motivated basketball. They're playing smart basketball. It's just, it's crazy. And all that, on top of all those guys playing well, playoff Al Horford is in full effect right now. Huge part of that win. At the end of Game 3, it's just, Al Horford got a lot of criticism. Maybe he shouldn't have been an All-Star. This and that, all whatever. Maybe he shouldn't have been an All-Star. You can argue based on stats, or maybe someone else is a little bit more qualified for the spot or something. I don't know. But as far as an All-Star, just in the general sense of the term, Al Horford, man, there's no one else you would rather have on your team right now. He's just got first of all, he's a big. He's a veteran. He's been there before. He's a great locker room guy. He's just always knows what to do in the right. He's always just, like I said, he always just knows what to do, when to do it, and why to do it. He's just does all the little things well. And like I said, you see it, and you saw all this in Game 3. Especially with screening perfectly, setting his body in the right position on that inbounds play in overtime, recognizing a pretty mediocre pass, inbound pass, and jumping it and getting a steal. Like I said, just all the little things. Al Horford, man, just playing super well. Good to see that happen. But all this is the culmination of again, President Brad Stevens, just a fucking wizard, man. That guy is such a good coach. If he needs to get Coach of the Year. I'm sorry, nothing against Dwayne Casey. Yeah, I know they got the 1 seed, but Brad Stevens needs to get Coach of the Year, man. He's doing all this without his 2 best players, with the leaders of this team, or the quote unquote leader of this team, are 3 young guys who are all in their 20s. You know what I mean? Like Terry Rozier on any other team he was their fourth guard, but he's stepping up and he is playing his ass off, and he's arguably the MVP of the round one. And Jason Tatum looking like their MVP of round two so far. But yeah, man, Brad Stevens, like I said in the last one, he's got these guys coached up and hungry and motivated and ready. And it's showing. They're up 3-0. But on the flip side of that, again, the Sixers could have and arguably should have won this game. And that makes 3 now for the series. They could easily be 3-0, like I said, just as easily as the Celtics are right now. Game 1, they live by the 3, they die by the 3. They just could not hit any of their 3-pointers, got down early, and that happened. They fixed that in Game 2. They were making their 3s, and Game 3 as well. They were making their 3s. But Game 2, Ben Simmons was a no-show, and it really affected the team overall. And then in Game 3, just like I said, their 3s were falling. Everyone was playing well. If you look at the box scores, everything looks pretty good as far as how they were playing. Joel Embiid, monster night for Joel, 22 and 19. I think he had a double-double at the end of the first quarter. Ben Simmons, 16 points, 8 boards, 8 assists. JJ Redick was hitting, like I said, knocking down 3s. Belly was knocking down 3s. Ilyasova was playing well. You know what I mean? Guys were playing well overall. They just completely fell apart at the end of both the regulation and in overtime. Just costly turnovers, costly mistakes. In the fourth quarter, bad turnovers. There was that miscommunication between JJ Redick and Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid or whoever was supposed to come off on that screen. Bad turnover, bad mistake there. And a magnificent shot by Bellinelli. People are arguing, saying, "Yo, he was wide open. Why didn't you just take a step back?" And it's like, look, he caught the ball in rhythm. He was like, that's just the shot that he felt was right. And you know what I mean? Like, of course, it was the right shot. It sent him to overtime, gave him a chance. Like I said, could he have probably he was expecting to be open. I don't think he was expecting to be that open, which is why he just caught and shot it. But excuse me, it's just that's just the way it goes sometimes. They had a chance, they didn't capitalize on it. They made some more mistakes in overtime. A couple, another costly turnover. With that really bad inbound pass. And then, again, President Brad Stevens just drawing up another amazing play out of the timeout. Just arguably the best ever. He's got to be one of the best ever at drawing up plays out of the timeout. That play, it's like you can see it developing if not saying if you want to watch basketball, but if you know what to look for, you can kind of see that play developing. And as soon as it happened, I was like, oh shit, that's a mouse. And I was like, oh shit. And then Al Horford was in the, if you're the Sixers, Al Horford was in the worst possible spot for you, because it was just a clear path between him and the rim. But just a great play. Great finish for the Celtics, and it just looks like the pressure's getting to this young team in the Sixers. It's tough, and it's a lot to put on their shoulders. Like I said, they're still a very young team. I know I mentioned that they have a lot of like veterans, quote unquote. Guys that have been there before. In Redick, Belly, and Ilyasova. But it's just it's just the core when the core group is so young. The lights they're pretty bright, and it looks like it's getting to them. And it's gonna be a long uphill battle to come back from 03 for the Sixers. But like I said in the last one, talking about the Raptors, crazier things have happened. In sports, not just basketball, but all sports, crazy things have happened. So like I said, it's not out of the realm of possibility. The Sixers, even though they're down 0-3, the Sixers are in all of these games. Except for game 1, they're in all of these games up until the end. And like I said, if they can just, figure it out and get their shit together, tighten up their play going forward, I think they have a chance. It doesn't look, it's a slim chance, but a chance nonetheless. And yes, I am saying there's a chance. So, that's how things were going in the East. Moving across down to the West, it's a little bit more kind of more how things, they're pretty similar. Things are pretty similar in the West for both series, and they're kind of going. It's a little bit more according to plan, or how it's going the way things people thought that it was going to go. Pretty similar situations for both teams. The Jazz and the Pelicans both were able to sneak out a win. They looked pretty good. Got the benefit of the doubt on some calls and stuff, especially in the first game of their home series. But it looks like that might be their only win. Both series are 3-1 right now. Warriors are up 3. Warriors are up 3. Rockets are up 3. They both lost Game 3 themselves, but they came back in Game 4. Warriors came back and laid the smack down. Rockets came back and laid the smack down. Let these younger, littler teams know who's boss. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for the Jazz and the Pelicans to come back from this one, especially considering Game 4 tomorrow, or Game 5 is in the Bay Area for the Warriors and the Pelicans, in Houston for the Rockets and the Jazz. It's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. But, again, crazier things have happened. But I think we all kind of knew this was going to happen. Look for, and at least, especially me, I feel the same way. So look for the Rockets and the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. I think this is the matchup we all expected, and it's also the matchup that we all wanted. So like I said, a little less dramatic on this end. There's been some good plays and some, a couple, highlight dunks and stuff like that. But for the most part, kind of went the way we thought it would go. Those are tomorrow. Hey, that's it's just, it's like I said, it's kind of, it's a showdown we all thought was gonna happen. In the Rockets and the Warriors, and so like I said, get ready for a lot of hot takes coming out of that one. Who they think is gonna win? It's gonna be pretty split down the middle. I think, as far as who they think is going to win. I think the Warriors are probably going to get more people, picking them. But like I said, don't be surprised if there's a lot more Rockets enthusiasts than you think. That's how things went on the hardwood. Moving on to the diamond for the baseball. Dodgers, man. Things are just going downhill pretty fast, aren't they? This season, man. This season is like I said, went from 0 to 100 real quick. Not in a good way. Like I said, the panic meter it's almost there. I'm almost there. Not quite there yet. Because we need to see how this whole Kershaw thing plays out. But I'm really fucking close now. Really, really, really close. If you are unfamiliar, Clayton Kershaw, the ace for the Dodgers, has been placed on the 10-day DL with bicep tendonitis. That's never any fun for anybody, especially when it's your ace. I know this is the second year in a row where Kershaw has been put on the DL. Hopefully he doesn't go away as long as he was last year. It kind of explains some things, maybe as to why he's had such a shaky start to the season so far. So right now it's just the 10-day DL. Hopefully it's not anything more than that. It's just he just needs a little rest or something. I don't know, but it's never a good sign when your ace gets injured. And especially when it adds to the injury bug for this Dodger team. Ryu at the end of last week had a groin injury. He's out till after All-Star break. Seager, obviously, done for the season, getting Tommy John surgery. Still no real timetable yet for when Turner's going to return. But at this point, don't rush him back. It's just kind of like, at this point, let's just kind of, let's just get to the All-Star break, Let's just make it there in one piece. Try to keep it together. Not fall apart. Don't rush things. Don't get crazy. Just keep playing. Try to get there as healthy as they can, and use the All-Star break to kind of recoup. try to get healthy, recharge, and hopefully, like I said, just be able to get the bad baseball out now, and build some momentum going into the All-Star break, or after the All-Star break, excuse me, and then hopefully maybe, hopefully, winning the West for the Dodgers right now is a little tough. They're pretty far down in the rankings as far as the West goes. Especially because the Diamondbacks are playing so well. Who they have a series against tomorrow. They start their little series against the Diamondbacks. So hopefully they can. It's gonna be tough, for them. But hopefully they can, like I said, get some, catch up to the Diamondbacks in the rankings. And then they're gonna finish the weekend off with the Reds. So hopefully, the Reds not doing too well themselves. So hopefully they can, maybe win that series, get a little bit more momentum. Get some more wins in their pocket. But yeah, it's looking pretty tough. Maybe they can get a wild card spot at this point. Like I said, it's super early. I know it's really early to think about the playoffs already. But I mean, you got to look ahead. And the season, we're already in May, so it's gonna be here closer than we think. But yeah, the Dodgers, man, it's like I said, I know this is a similar situation what happened last year. They had, they caught the injury bug a little bit last year too. But again, these injuries kind of scare me a little more, and they're a little bit scarier as far as, Tommy John, he's done. Like I said, we lost a year for the season. Nothing we can do about that. A hand injury to arguably our best hitter on the team, that's never good. A groin injury is never fun. You know what I mean? Those are always, tricky situations, and to a guy who's who's been up and down throughout his Dodger career, I know, but when Ryu's on, he's on, and he's been playing pretty well this year so far, and it just sucks to see him go down the way like this. Again, anything involving the arm of the pitcher is never a good thing. So, like I said, a little bit scarier, but hey, like I said, it's got to be optimistic. So, like I said, let's just try to get to the All-Star break in one piece, or as close to one piece as we can, and just kind of go from there. But yeah, that's how the boys in blue are doing. Let's move down the 5 to the Angels. The Angels, man, they're looking for real this year. They're looking pretty for real. And if they weren't in the same division as the Astros, I think that they would, they'd be top of the whatever division they're in themselves. They're playing very good baseball right now. Last night, Ohtani, another great game for Ohtani. He pitched very well in another win. I have the stats in front of me right here. Yeah, he had 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, only 2 runs. But that's it. Only 2 runs they gave it the game. They won 8-2. So like I said, they're playing very good baseball right now themselves. It's like I said, they just got to play better against the better teams. Oh shit, pardon me. I just checked the standings again. They are now leading the AL West over the Astros. Big for them. Because they, like I said, like I just mentioned, they need to look good against tougher teams. They've got that starting tomorrow against the Rockies. They got a 2-game stint against the Rockies. Not so much with the Twins. They're having another shaky year this year. But next week, big home series, I believe. Home series? Yes. Big home series for the Angels against the Astros. So look for that. That's going to be the big matchup to see, especially since they're leading, but not by much, by a game, I believe. And so, yeah, the Angels, man, they're like I said, they're looking pretty for real this year. Soch, man, a lot of people Soch was on the hot seat, and as much as real baseball fans knew it wasn't Soch's fault. They had a lot of pretty questionable signings in the in the past, and a lot of kind of tumultuous situations, stuff going on. But like I said, they weathered the storm. They trusted the process, and like I said, they're playing pretty good baseball. And also, speaking of the Angels, big up to Albert Pujols, got his 3,000th hit for his career. I believe he's only one of like 4 different players to have 3,000 hits and 600 plus home runs. So tip of the cap to old Albert Pujols there. One of my favorite players to watch growing up. I used to always want to be able to hit like Albert Pujols. And so, yeah, it's good to see, man. As he at the beginning part of his tenure with the Angels was looked at as one of the those questionable signings, getting up there in age, had a foot injury, and it kind of overcompensated for the other parts of his legs and stuff like that. And he wasn't, for like the first couple seasons, he wasn't, the Albert Pujols that we all know. But, in the latter, these last couple seasons, especially this season, he's been much more productive and looking a little bit more like the Albert we all know and love. So again, tip of the cap to Albert, and congrats on the big milestone. Yeah, rounding things out for sports here. Another pay-per-view for WWE. It seems like it just never ends for those guys, does it? Those guys and those girls and those female superstars as well. I don't think it wasn't leaving them out like they did at Greatest Royal Rumble. But then again, that's neither here nor there. That's another topic for another time. But yeah, last night they had WWE Backlash. It was the first of the co-branded pay-per-views that they're this year at least. Well, not counting WrestleMania and Greatest Royal Rumble, but of the non-Big Four, like the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. This was the first co-branded pay-per-view. They are trying to do more of them, I guess, this year to kind of, I guess they finally got the memo that, hey, maybe 2 pay-per-views a month is pretty rough, and a lot to ask of the fans, a lot to ask for the superstars, a lot to ask for everybody involved. With all that being said, Backlash was not good, not good. It started great with Seth Rollins and The Miz, but it was all downhill from there. Yeah, like I said, it started great. Rollins and The Miz had a great match. We all knew that Rollins was going to win because obviously he's going to keep the Intercontinental Championship belt on Raw. But they had a couple good false finishes. I was like, wait, are they really going to do it? They got me a couple times with those pretty good skull crushing finales. But ultimately, Seth Rollins came out on top. And hopefully they do the feud with him and Finn Balor. Please just do it already. But yeah, again, it was pretty much downhill from there. Next we had Nia Jax. Her match with Alexa Bliss was just, the match itself was just meh. As much as I like Nia Jax, as much as I love Alexa Bliss, that match was just pretty meh. The talking point here obviously wasn't the actual match itself. It came after the match. If you're unfamiliar, the whole Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss storyline is based around bullying. Nia Jax is a larger framed woman, and she is the WWE champion or women's champion right now for Raw. And going into the feud with Alexa Bliss, who is more of the athletic build, it was like she was teasing her for being bigger or being different and this and that, and then so Nia Jax is winning and telling all these all the, not just the little girls or any other girls or anyone in general, that if you look different, it's okay, embrace it, and that bullies deserve it to get their butts kicked and blah, blah, blah. Like, don't bully. And like I said, and so she did another one of those speeches after the match. And it was, like I said, it's always a good time to have a speech like that because bullying is bad, as we all know. But like I said, the talking point came because there were not just... the crowd reaction wasn't as good as they expected it, I guess, especially considering there was an anti-bullying speech going on, and the crowd kind of there were a little bit of boos and hisses and stuff in the crowd, and people were criticizing the crowd for it, but obviously I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't for the bullying, but it was because that Nia Jax shamelessly plugged the Be a Star program in the promo, and so it's kind of like, oh god, like it was just kind of corny and lame, and again, just pretty shameless to just plug Be a Star, which again, for those of you unfamiliar with this is the WWE's anti-bullying program that they have when they do their little like tours, and they they go to like schools and stuff like that, and they say be a star, don't be a bully, mully, and they try to teach kids, just like don't be mean to each other, be nice to each other, pretty standard stuff, despite the fact that a lot of their own employees are not very, maybe they need to follow the Be a Star program themselves, JBL, Vince McMahon, but, like I said, it's like I said. So people were kind of criticizing the crowd for that, and like I said, I'm pretty sure they weren't booing the actual promo itself. They were just booing the shameless plug of Be a Star. But yeah, other than that, and then the match itself was just whatever. And then another meh match right after that with Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton, and nothing against them. It's just it was just a whatever match. Like I said, I love Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy is like my little brother's favorite wrestler. Growing up, so like I said, we love the Hardy Boys. Love Jeff Hardy, but it's kind of like, where does he go from here with the belt? He's the champion, but it's like, where does he go from here with it? And then same thing with Randy Orton. It's like right from the get-go, you kind of knew that Randy Orton was going to lose. He was just, very notorious for pretty poor body language if things aren't going to go the way that he thinks they should go. Or if he's disinterested, he's not afraid to show it. And this was definitely one of those cases. Lost pretty clean, kind of weird. I thought that's, but I mean, it's like, okay, well, maybe this feud's over, I guess. I don't know. But what does this mean for Orton? Some people are thinking he was doing that on purpose to get like a possible heel turn. I don't know. There's also the rumor that Randy Orton, I don't think it's a rumor, I think it's, set in stone that Randy Orton's going to get not a full-on part-time schedule, but he's going to get lesser dates and stuff like that. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I really don't know what's on the horizon for Randy Orton. And I don't know what's on the horizon for Jeff Hardy either. Maybe Daniel Bryan feud. I don't know. I really don't know. But next was probably the most mixed reaction or reviews for this spot. So Elias came out, did his typical Elias thing. He's like, I want to play a song for you guys, but he kept booing the crowd, and he got all the heat and all that stuff. And right as he's about to play his song, he is interrupted by the New Day, who came out and playing the trombone, throwing the pancakes and all that stuff, and doing their thing. And Elias was like, got mad that they interrupted him, and then he was gonna start trying to play again, and then Aiden English came out and interrupted him and brought out Rusev Day. They did their thing. Elias got mad again, and then all of a sudden, No Way Jose comes out with all with the conga line and everybody, and it was all funny and stuff. And then Titus Worldwide was in there with the conga line dancers, and then the Fashion Police were bringing up the rear. Pause. They were there too, and it was kind of funny. It was just like I said, it was kind of funny. And then ultimately it came out, and then after Elias just couldn't take it anymore, he was mad and kind of flustered, and then Bobby Roode came out of nowhere, hit him with the glorious DDT, did his glorious thing, and it was like I said, I get why people didn't like it, because it was pretty silly and pretty ridiculous, but I thought it was pretty funny. And ultimately they brought out all the air quotes here, musical acts, that incorporate a lot of music or songs and dance or whatever. And so that was pretty funny, I guess. It was, like I said, it was a good little filler spot, to kill time. And like I said, I get why that's why people are kind of mad. It's like, look, we could have done without this and made this pay-per-view about a half hour shorter. And arguably, yeah, they could have. They could have. It definitely could have benefited from being a little shorter. But like I said, it was funny, whatever. Call me cheesy, whatever. But it was, I liked it. Didn't set up any storylines or anything. It was just merely just a spot for people to laugh at. And then moving on, and the next thing, the Daniel Bryan the Big Cass match was, it was just a match. Like I said, I'm happy that Daniel Bryan's back, but every time I watch him wrestle, I just kind of hold my breath, especially considering why he had to retire. I think I mentioned this in the last episode or in an episode before, but that head injury and the neck injury shit is no joke, man. It's the same thing I do when I watch Kurt Angle wrestle. You just kind of hold your breath, like, hey, oh shit, it takes a kind of a hard bump. You're like, is he gonna be all right? So, like I said, it was just a pedestrian match. Like I said, with a surprisingly clean win for Daniel Bryan with a yes lock. He just kind of locked it in, and it was a legit ass lock in. And Big Cass tapped. And everyone's like, all right, good, feel good moment for Daniel Bryan. He got a win in his first real match back. But then Big Cass beat him up afterwards, and then everyone's kind of like, man, what the heck? Like, can this feud be over with already? And so I don't know. Like I said, I don't know where they go with this either. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's just like it feels like they kind of dropped the ball with Big Cass on this one. It's just I don't know. They're trying to build him up as this big monster heel, kind of in the same way that they were trying to do with Baron Corbin, But it's just I don't know. Something about it's just not working. I don't know what it is. Maybe we'll find out on SmackDown. And then, not even what arguably could have been or could be one of the most not controversial, but kind of like head scratching finishes. As I'm literally scratching my head right now. Carmella retained her SmackDown Women's title over Charlotte. And that's you hear that. And that's like I said, that's not the surprising part. It was that it was in a kind of a clean win too. The whole match, Carmella was trying to pinpoint her legs and take out Charlotte's legs, and she kind of sold it a little bit, but then she tried to do her moonsault and then landed it made it seem like she landed awkwardly. Then Carmella just kicked her in the leg really hard and then just rolled her up, and that was it. And it was kind of like, what the heck? That was a little weird. I figured, people thought that Carmella would win, but it would be like via shenanigans, whether the Iconics come out and do something, like they've been done in the past, or they just thought something would, like some kind of screwy finish would happen. But nope, nothing happened. And like I said, Charlotte lost kind of clean. Maybe they're trying to do an injury angle because, Charlotte's got some actual injuries going on. I don't know. But it's just baffling that, nothing against Carmella. I know she's great. I love Carmella personally. I love her character. She's very easy on the eyes as well. But like I said, nothing against her in the ring. Trust me, nothing against her at all. But Charlotte, who's arguably definitely one of, and arguably the best female wrestler in the world right now. And just a month ago, she ended Asuka's streak at WrestleMania to retain her belt. Asuka's streak that lasted more than 2 years, or almost 2 years. And then now she, like I said, less than a month later, lost relatively easily and cleanly to Carmella. And again, nothing against Carmella. Trust me, nothing against Carmella. But it's just kind of, it's baffling. It's very head scratching. I don't know what they're gonna, I don't know what they're going to do with this going forward. I don't know what the master plan is with this. I was very confused. A lot of people were confused, and a lot of people were upset as well. And then definitely going into, I guess that's the theme of Backlash going towards the last hour or so. People are just kind of upset at the booking decisions. I believe mainly, if you had to rank it, I think this is the second to last one, or the second high is ranked number 2 on the upset rankings. The WWE Championship match between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, which by all means was a good match. It was their best one that they've had so far. It was a good match. A lot of good spots. It was like I said, pretty aggressive style wrestling. I think they're trying to, in fairness for what they're doing with this, they're trying to build up a more aggressive kind of feud between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. So that way, I'm assuming they're going to have their big, their big opus match that's going to try to rival their Wrestle Kingdom match at SummerSlam. I think the reason why, like I said, it's taking a little bit longer is because they need to kind of, if they just go with a straight strong style match, like out of a New Japan style match, it might be a little jarring for a WWE crowd. Especially considering not all fans watch WWE, or excuse me, not all WWE fans watch New Japan. So I think that's why they're kind of doing it like this. They're slow playing it to kind of just make this a more aggressive kind of feud. But with all that being said, it was a good match all the way up until the finish. We all know the big storyline here is that for whatever reason, Shinsuke Nakamura is interested in low blowing AJ Styles a lot, with his comical uppercuts, and they're actually really funny, and they traded low blows for a little bit. AJ Styles got a low blow in there, and it kind of just like getting his payback. But then they kind of just stared at each other and both wound up and straight punted each other right in the fucking cock and balls. and both went down, and I started I was I can't lie. It was a funny moment. Just for what it was in a vacuum, that was a funny moment. I was like, oh my god, like they actually did it, because they looks like they really kicked the shit out of each other's nuts in that one. But then that's how the match finished, because they could not get up, and that was a 10 count. And like I said, it was a good comedy type, unintentionally comical finish. But considering that this is AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, two of the best workers in the world, for the WWE Championship, that was what kind of upset a lot of people, you know. And you know, like I said, I'm not saying it was, like I said, I thought it was hilarious personally, just not in the sense that this was, you know, the way that the match should have ended, you know. But I mean, like I said, I'm sure they're trying to build it to the big match is going to be at SummerSlam or something. So I get that they have to do that, but again, that doesn't take away from the fact that I don't think it should have ended that way. But still, you know, they're getting there. They're going to get there eventually. Then, you know, and then they had the Strowman and Bobby Lashley versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn match. And that was a big stinker. I'm sorry. That was a big stinker. Everyone know that, you know, Strowman and Lashley were going to win. They won, and they did so very easily. They tried to work in a story where Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were breaking their friendship up again, where they didn't want any piece of him anymore, and so they tried to run away. But then, you know, they were, you know, quote unquote, feeding each other to the wolves. Kevin Owens tried to throw Sami Zayn back. Sami Zayn tried to throw Kevin Owens back. And they went back and forth for a little bit. And then eventually, Sami Zayn got Kevin Owens back in the ring. And then, you know, Lashley beat him up. And then Strowman hit him with a running power slam. And that was the 1, 2, 3. Then they grabbed Sami Zayn, did the same thing to him. And everyone was just kind of like, what? Like, it's just, what is the point of this? There is really no point to this feud going on right now. You know, and it's, I don't know. It's like I said, it just served no point, you know, because Strowman and Lashley didn't need this win. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn could use a win. Obviously, not going to get against Strowman or Lashley, but they could use a W right about now, and not against each other. You know, but, and then also, so I mean, yeah, it was just lame. It was just whatever. There's nothing really to say about it. But the only other thing is or have the WWE fucked up Lashley? Like, have they messed this up? Because he hasn't really said anything on the mic. He has no real set storyline. I don't even think he really has a finishing move at this point. I don't know anything about Lashley other than he's just there and looking fucking jacked, and that's about it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with Lashley. I don't know if they're gonna do any of this stuff in this match, and so, but here it is, the main event, which everyone was pretty excited for, because they thought that they were gonna get a good match, and I emphasized the thought they were gonna get a good match for this one, and it had all the potential to do so, because, you know, it's Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns. They come out. And before the match even starts, Samoa Joe ambushes Roman Reigns, and he's like taking him out. And you know, he threw him through one of the announcers' desks. You know, beating him up outside before the match even started. And like I said, it was cool to see. And then, but in the back of your mind, you kind of knew, please don't let this just be another one of those Roman Reigns matches where Samoa Joe or whoever it is, you know, fill in the blank wrestler beats up Roman Reigns. You know, he takes a lot of punishment, and then you know, they get a lot of offense in on him. But then, you know, Roman Reigns has this triumphant comeback, and if it's a 15-minute match, 12 minutes is spent beating up Roman Reigns, and the last 3 are Roman Reigns coming back, hitting 2 Superman punches and 1 spear, and that's the match. And you know, people were thinking that maybe it's because it's Samoa Joe, they'll do it a little differently. Nope. No, sir. It was just another same old Roman Reigns win. And that's exactly how it went down. Samoa Joe, you know, locked in the Coquina clutch a couple times, you know, slammed him, kicked him, all this stuff. And then just a typical, like I said, Superman punch, spear, 1, 2, 3, that's it. And people were booing. There were Rusev Day chants. There were boring matches chants. And it's like I said, it's just I just want to move on from this Roman Reigns stuff already. So I'm not even gonna give it the time of day anymore. I just want to move on from this stuff already. Just give him the belt. Let him feud with Seth Rollins already, and Dean Ambrose when he comes back. Do a triple threat match. All that. Please, just move on already. We need something different. We're just tired of the same old shit. New era, same old shit. And again, the show was not good. Not very good. And hopefully they can just get things cleared up on Raw and SmackDown and just move on with storylines or something. I don't know. But Backlash was not good. It was not good. And I'm ready to move on from it. And I'm just going to wrap this thing up with some non-sports action. With wrapping it up with Young Bino, Childish Gambino, the talk of the town right now. He is, if there's anyone that is just white hot right now, it is Childish Gambino, aka Donald Glover, killing it right now. We all know how great he's doing with Atlanta. I personally have not watched Atlanta as much as I should, but the new episodes that I have seen are fucking hilarious. And it's just they're hilarious, they're good, they're smart, it's just great. I highly recommend you watch Atlanta. Best show on TV right now. And then he was also like I said, he was all over the news because he was on Saturday night. He was on Saturday Night Live, acting as Donald Glover. Then performed 2 new songs as Childish Gambino. So that was cool. He debuted 2 new songs. Saturday, which is a cool, feel-good dance song. I like it. But then the one that everybody's talking about is This Is America, the quote-unquote controversial song that he came out with that goes along with great visuals. If you haven't seen it, first of all, what rock you've been living under? It's all anyone's been talking about. Second of all, it's great. It's a great piece of art itself. Like I said, there's a whole lot of think pieces and tweets and talk about it and stuff like that. And yes, like I said, it is great. It's a great look into, what it's like to be black in America, the black experience, especially in 2018. A lot of the visual symbolism, the musical symbolism, all that stuff, and like I said, it's great. It's the he balances between it's a nice kind of like feel good rhythm, and then he pulls out guns and shoots somebody, and it's involved in the video, and then it drops into like this like kind of trap style beat, and he does like a little mumble rap flow. And like I said, just go watch it. It's great. Like I said, I picked up on it pretty quickly. Like I said, not just as much as a lot of people did. It's a great. That doesn't take away from how great of a video it is and great visual it is. And like I said, it's making a lot of people feel some type of way, which is exactly what art is supposed to do. If art makes you feel uncomfortable, whether it's because you don't agree with it or you don't understand it in any kind of way, that's how you know art is doing something, because it makes you have to learn more. It makes you have to do more research, do more homework, and that's what I want to do on this. Like I said, I feel like I have an understanding of the video, as far as what he was trying to do. The only thing I'm waiting for is a little something that goes a little bit more of a deep dive as to why specifically he chose certain things. Like I said, I know that there was it's like the African music that's in it is like influenced by is mainly South African, from what I understand. Like I said, I'm just wondering, like I said, but the stuff I'm interested in is why did he choose like South African type of music? There's a lot of cars that are in the video, a lot of older looking cars, along the lines of like older Toyotas or older Hondas or something like that. Like I said, I'm curious as to why he chose those ones. And like I said, I'm trying to wait for that piece to come out, like why he specifically chose specific things. So like I said, go watch it if you haven't seen it. It's great. And go watch the skits too. A lot of the skits were funny that he did on SNL. His monologue was pretty funny. Like I said, they had some good skits on there. The ones with the one where they made fun of the Migos was pretty funny. You know, the 80s music video was probably my favorite one. That was funny. But it was good. Like I said, check out the video for This Is America. Check out the skits. They're all on YouTube. You know, watch Atlanta if you haven't watched Atlanta. And also, in case he didn't, you know, there was another thing he needed to, another lane that Childish Gambino needed to occupy and dominate. He's playing Lando Calrissian in the upcoming Star Wars movie Solo, which looks great, by the way. So yeah, like I said, just Gambino, man, killing the fucking game right now. And like I said, in so many ways. So yeah, big ups to Childish Gambino, Donald Glover. And also big ups to you for making it through this episode, because I am done. I should wrap this thing up here. But yeah, big ups to you. Like always, thank you for listening. Thank you for rocking with me on this one. And yeah, also, yeah, if you like what you heard, like always, make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Thank you for that. And like I said, if you want to, you know, maybe you don't agree with something I said, or you want to maybe talk about, or if you know some of the symbolism from the This Is America video that I don't know about, and you want to let me know, I'm always open for it. Let me know. Give me a follow on all the socials, you know, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr. I'm still tumbling on the blog. Shout out to Blog Boys. Shout out to all the Blog Boys. But yeah, give me a follow on all the socials. Brown Mamba Radio, Brown Mamba, or my personal stuff, JXCKSXNNN. That's 3 N's. And of course, everything is always on brownmamba.us. The website, as I like to call it. The blog, as maybe Kevin Durant would like to call it. But everything's all there. So check that out. And like I said, I know I mentioned before, I'm trying to do more interview-based stuff. So if you're interested, you want to come on and talk about anything, let me know. Like I said, follow along, hit me up. You can email me, you can just DM me, whatever. Let me know. I'm always interested. And also, if you ever want to do anything where you want to work with the Brown Mamba, with your boy, like I said, just let me know. I'm open to it. Whether it's like sponsors or collabos, joint work, anything like that, just let me know. I'm always interested. I'm always down. Just like I said, email, DM, Twitter, Instagram, all that shit. Maybe not Facebook or Tumblr. I'm not really on those as much. But like I said, just hit me up. I'm always available. I'm always open. Yeah, again, just thank you for supporting. Thank you for listening. But yeah, it's time for me to get out of here. Wrapping this thing up. And quickly, might be going to the Top Dog Championship Tour, the big show with Kendrick Lamar, SZA, Schoolboy Q, J Rock, all the Top Dog guys and ladies. So I'll probably be going to the Thursday show. So I'll probably see you guys there. Also, all my Hawaiian, all my Jawaiian, all my reggae music fans out there, especially from the Hawaiian, of the Hawaiian type, legendary group Ekolu is going to be playing at St. Roch and Hermosa Beach. I'm going to that on Friday night. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. Yeah, don't just have a good week, everybody. Make it a good week. Drink more water. Health is wealth. Be kind to each other, please, and show love. It's easy to be nice. And like always, I'll catch you guys in the next one.